So the first question is, as we know that you've worked with a woman for the last few years, and
Yes.
especially on the project with the Indonesian woman survivor of 65, and
Mm.
from your last residency in Massive District, may I know what motivates you behind the collaboration, and can you share about your experience in working with the female or women survivor?
Uh, what makes me do this work? I always have several reasons. It's not just only one reason, but also many reasons, I think. I mean, if there is something I want to do and I don't really start right away. I experienced something long before and then it accumulate and then when it is the time I start to do. I think everyone has their own hard time in their life. I also have had a very difficult time in my life, like 10 years ago or something. I felt nothing left loose anymore at the time, but I realized that it could be worse because I had to face tragic things in 2014. There was a Sewol ferry accident in Korea. More than 200, almost to 300 people, especially high school students, were dead under the sea. We were watching the ferry sinking on TV news, through the TV news. Uh, we still didn't know why we couldn't save them. We still don't know why it happened and why we had to watching them dying at the time. I felt totally lost from the inside, not only inside but also outside, because my life was really the crisis at the time. But from the outside, like a social way, from the society, it could be worse. One day I saw an article about the Dialita, uh, just after the ferry. No, not just after, one year, something after that, or 2 years after that. I saw an article from the online about the Dialita and then the survivors' activities, uh, like Dialita, and not only survivors but also the other young people. They were singing Genje Genje. Well, at the time, I didn't know the music of Genje Genje, but I just heard the sound of the music and wow, it's really impressive, I thought. But I realized that is about related to, I mean, that related with not extent, but the mass killing in 65, and then in my work, in my work, I use that music as well, and they were singing and still live their life very actively. I mean, I'm talking about the Dialita. I just wanted to know them and needed to learn their warm breathing, because I felt at the time so cold. It's not because of the weather, but because the air around me is so cold. I thought so. I need the warm breathing. So I felt, wow, how come the survivors, they are still smiling and singing with a smile, and they look so warm for me. So I wanted to meet them and know them and want to learn how to breathe like that. So it's just so simply, I wanted to come to the Indonesia. I didn't expect to meet them at that time. So I asked to my friends who is an artist in Jakarta. I asked them if they know Dialita, and of course they said, of course we know. And even there's the curator, he also knows the manager of the Dialita. So we talked, maybe I can have a residence in Jakarta. Then when I was there, and they introduced the manager of the Dialita, and then I could meet Dialita at the time. So I was my very small simple expectation just makes me to meet them. It was really incredible happened to me. And then and also the manager of the Dialita, she wanted to introduce one person artist in Jogja. I visited Jogja first time at the time. That was 2017 or something like that.
Hmm.
And 17 something, yeah. And then Ranga also introduced many survivors, female survivors who had doing a very active. And the one of the survivors was Sri Muhayati,
Yeah.
and she's a real activist. And I also made the film about her. And firstly, she was really didn't really believe me. She was
Yeah.
really not afraid, but not really comfortable with me. But
Hmm.
we talked a few times, and then second time I came there again to see her. She asked me to be a friend. So I was really glad to hear that. Maybe I can be a friend with them. When I come there in Jogja last time, she just passed away 5 days ago. Yeah. That's how I uh, work.
Yeah. As we saw on your works, you have translated the Genjar-Genjar lyrics into Hangul. And then I'm wondering why you translated. Like I'm curious. So may I know what message you want to share to the
Mm.
audience? Because I imagine maybe you will bring this video works in Korea, or you will show it to your country. That's why you translate
Mm.
it, or uh, what is that? What is your message about it?
Uh, First reason I made it is to show in Jogja first, but of course this work is for my friends in or and Korean people too. This was focused on how to generate the survivors' story and their life to other generation, not just their own history, but also next generation and next generation in Korea and also in Indonesia. So I wasn't really focused on only their tragic memory, but also try to focus on how they try to survive and their life until now. For me, the survivor's story was not the witness of the tragic tragedy of their life, but someone who is living their life wonderful right now. The Genja Genja song is simply very genuine about life and survival for every human, I think. That is simply very powerful and very wonderful for me. Actually, I also heard the song when I found Dialita on the internet. I still have a big impression about it. Maybe it made me more interested in the song too.
The last question that I want to ask about is about your career. So
Mm.
as we know, you are recognized as a Korean artist. And what do you want to achieve through your artworks?
When I have a question from you, I think a lot about this. What I really want to achieve, because if I don't have that achievement, that desire, maybe I'm not human. maybe I'm saint or something. I'm still thinking about it. Firstly, I told you I need a really warm breath because I felt really cold at the time. So fortunately, if I want to do something, and it always happened to me, actually, it was really lucky. But it always makes me to do something and next and extend more and more. And maybe someday, maybe I can I can know about it.
Ah, got it,
Mm.
got it.
Maybe
Mhm.
I want to be a friend, someone who is really working and living their own life. I really appreciate that way. Maybe I wanted to know, I wanted to learn and to be a friend.
Mm.
Actually, since then, I'm quite feel free about my life and then my work. As an artist, I wanted to achieve something very strongly before.
Mm.
Maybe I still, but maybe some different way.